Are you in need of a holiday? Are you getting in over your head at work? Are you waking up in the middle of the night screaming from half-remembered dreams about having to fill out that report by tomorrow morning, but Barney the dinosaur has eaten your computer and now you're in a fantastic Voyage-esque journey through his lower intestines trying to retrieve it in time to get the report finished? You might want to talk to someone about that last one, but while we may not be able to offer you any help for whatever that is, me and the rest of the team here at TripleJump Video Game Holidays, our new venture, have numerous locations throughout video gamedom where you can sit back, relax, and forget about those dinosaur slime-covered reports that will be waiting on your desk when you get back. From the white sand beaches of Assassin's Creed Black Flag to the deep jungles of Uncharted, each of our sites is full of sightseeing opportunities and definitely not dangerous wildlife, providing unforgettable getaway opportunities for everyone. So, pack your inventory, save your progress, and don't forget your suntan lotion, because I'm Peter from TripleJump, I burn very easily, and here are 10 beautiful video game landscapes we'd love to visit. Number 10. SOVNGARDE, Skyrim. While Skyrim is full of locations that could easily make this list, such as the icy peaks of Arcwind Point, the luscious Moss Mother Cavern, and the jellyfish mushroom-filled Blackreach, with gorgeous vistas of ice-tinted pine trees and mountains, SOVNGARDE looks like something crafted by a god. And that's because it was. The home of the afterlife for Skyrim's Nordic race, SOVNGARDE was created by the god Shor. It can be a difficult place to get to, for certain, only meant to be accessible through, the traditional method. However, if you ply the dragon Odahviing with enough neck scritches, he will fly you to the portal at Skuldafn that will transport you to this glorious ascended world. The view is truly outstanding, with the constellations circling around a star at the center of the sky, all merging together into a technicolor nebula. If you're not so much of an outdoorsy type though, why not enter the Hall of Valor, where you'll be able to join the countless other spirits in eating, drinking, being merry, and competing in challenges of physical prowess. Then again, in order to do that, you might have to get past the ancient god of trials against adversity, so let's just hope you got some of that mead left over. Number 9. The Great Fairy Fountains, The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. It is difficult to pick a single location from the land of Hyrule, especially from the Great Plateau in Breath of the Wild, because the entire place is gorgeous. When you first emerge from the caves, the land of the Great Plateau stretches out in front of you, with the distant peaks and daunting Death Mountain burning away on the horizon. But don't worry, we can stay well away from that. Dip your feet in Hopper Pond to refresh yourself after a long day's walk. Spot wild animals by the Forest of Spirits, and whip up a spot of dinner with the many cooking pots scattered across the world. Of course, not everyone wants a walking holiday, so if you only have time to visit one natural wonder, the choice is clear. The Great Fairy Fountains are several individual giant flowers located around the Great Plateau, and each of these giant flowers is also home to a giant woman! A great fairy, to be specific, who is always happy to heal you, upgrade your armor, restore your magic power, and is, just generally quite welcoming. Oh, hello. Oh! If you would like to hone your survival skills, cooking ability, and make some friends in very high places, then the Great Plateau's fairy fountains are exactly what you need. Number 8. The Skellige Isles, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Located just off the coast of the Great Kingdom of Sintra, why not take a boat tour around the 6 Skellige Islands? Well known for its fishing ports and swift longships, this archipelago was once home to elves and ice giants before the arrival of humans, who colonized the islands and established the dozens of small coastal villages that are now scattered about the place. There are literally hundreds of shopping opportunities for you here, provided that you're looking to buy a lot of seafood and not much else. Perfect for anyone who enjoys chilly hikes more than sunbathing, here you can satisfy your sightseeing needs exploring the nearby settlements and Fortress of Caer Trollday, which was, according to myth, carved out of the mountain by the bare hands of the legendary hero Grim the Jar. Look, I'm a travel agent, not a historian. Anyway, where were we? Oh yes, why not pop over to the smaller fishing islands to enjoy the best beaches this side of Barbados, or nip over to the island of Hindusfjord with its lush vegetation, pine forests, mountain ranges, and tranquil atmosphere. I just hope you like the smell of fish. It's everywhere. Number 7, the SUMMERLANDS, Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. In the Studio Ghibli-designed parallel universe of the Ni no Kuni series, the central continent, known as the Summerlands, spreads out at your feet much like the Breath of the Wild's Great Plateau. The north of the continent provides a tranquil place to get away from the rat race, with mild yet sunny weather encouraging the growth of lush trees and grassland, as well as the numerous animal species that thrive there. Visit the town of Ding Dong Dell, where Pussy is surely in the well, to pick up supplies as you traverse the green rolling hills area before taking a dive into the deep dark wood to pay a visit to Old Father Oak and his creepy human face. Okay, maybe skip deep dark wood. The Golden Grove to the south, though, is a forager's paradise, with many different mushroom species, all of them yet unpissed on, as well as beautiful flowers and even a few treasure chests dotted about the place, the contents of which will probably just about fit into your hand luggage to keep you going on your flight home. Delicious, and only a little bit dusty. Number 6, Planet 4546b, Subnautica. While all of our other destinations are mainly above sea level, the planet of 4546b boasts the majority of its most beautiful locations deep down underwater. Relatively untouched if you just ignore the slowly subsiding ruined spaceship wreckage sticking out of the water, the ocean stretches as far as the eye can see. However, the real mystery of the planet is seen beneath the waves. The ocean is teeming with life, from the tiny peeper fish and rabbit rays in the safe shallows where you can dive into caverns and bend through coral tubes, to the ominously braying gasopods, just don't get too close to them. Nearby, the kelp forest provides a haven for stalkers, and I don't mean the guy from your local bus stop, but try not to venture into the mountains beyond. Some things in this ocean are hungrier than others. For anyone who doesn't have their sea legs, there's also the rocky mountain island and luscious tree-covered floating island to make camps on, held up by large jellyfish-like floaters. Lovely. I hope I'm still doing a good job of selling this. Number 5, MULGORE, World of Warcraft. Much like in Ni no Kuni, the plains of MULGORE form a vast landscape of rolling hills and sparse trees. Surrounded on all sides by the Stone Talon mountain range, the only entrance and exit is through the Great Gate leading to the Southern Barrens. Let me tell you, this landscape will really make you say, wow. An oasis of grassland that has seemingly remained sheltered from the worst of the weather, Mulgore's wildlife has thrived over the centuries. Indeed, thrill seekers can look forward to encounters with trolls, orcs, goblins, and the undead Forsaken in a safari that you won't forget for the rest of your life. Especially if you die on that safari, you won't have to remember it for very long in that instance. Still, you can always rig a makeshift exclamation mark over your head and annoy the wannabe adventurers by walking around and giving people random quests, if that's your idea of a good time. What better holiday is there than being able to get your laundry done by a level 86 warlock? Number 4, Hank's Tower, Firewatch. With the sky tinged a peachy red, the watchtower overlooking the Shoshone National Forest of Wyoming is just the place to sit down and finally get that novel read, written, or even coloured in, if that's your cup of tea. That, or you could just ruminate and catch up on the sleep that your regular working week never quite allows. Based on a single painting by director Ollie Moss, the environment is bathed in a pinkish-orange glow, with your solitary watchtower providing a panoramic view of the wilderness around you. I would say that I hope you're not too fussed about privacy, given how exposed your watchtower is, but there's literally no one around for miles. Peace at last. Set in 1989, there's also no internet, no smartphones, and no whatever kind of harrowing political climate is currently taking place on whatever day you're watching this video. There's no point in me being specific, there's new scandals pending every week at the moment. And don't worry, you're not isolated to a dangerous degree. With this handy-dandy walkie-talkie system, you can chat to the nosy Parkers in the neighbouring towers, if you so wish. Then again, you could switch that off. I mean, if I wanted to talk to people I don't know, I'd just take a holiday to Lush. Yes, I'm fine, thank you. Just browsing. Leave me alone! Number 3, WINDSHEAR Waste, Borderlands 2. Like in the ice hotels here on Earth, sometimes to really relax, you have to isolate yourself in an inhospitable tundra far away from civilization. And if you're looking to hide away from the stress of work, social obligations, or taxes, then WINDSHEAR Waste can offer you that in spades. Our helpful and certainly not annoying representative, Claptrap, will show you around on arrival, and his abandoned ice cavern is fully furnished for every comfort during your stay with us. Now, Pandora is hardly the first place you'd pick to relax, what with the majority of the planet being a horrendous Mad Max fever dream looking wilderness full of bandits, vicious animals, and equally vicious plants. But come on, who can say no to that sky? You'll be far too distracted by the natural wonders around you to worry about your survival, because this stunning aurora borealis is, at this time of year and in this part of the country, localized entirely within WINDSHEAR Waste. Number 2, the Artisans World, Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Being the most peaceful of the Dragon's 5 homelands, the Artisans World is the very definition of tranquil, with none of that aforementioned untamed wilderness to worry about. The grounds of the castle are well protected, after all, and there's only the occasional pesky Gnorc scuttling around, which can be dealt with quickly with a swift kick in the gnackers. For long, lazy days, the copses, dales, and streams of the homeworld and wider realms alike are perfect for any dragons wanting to stretch their wings and unwind. But what if you're a pasty white boy or girl like me? Well, an ample library is also available, meaning that as well as not having to agonize over what book you should bring along in your suitcase, you can also stay out of the sun as much as is necessary. The numerous dragons around the grounds act as maitre d's to answer any questions and provide the tutorial hints that you may need during your stay, and there's even a hot air balloonist who can't wait to take you on a ride. Just be sure if you see a film crew hanging around during your stay to be careful what you say about the ugly mugs watching at home.
Ugly?
And number 1, the caves, dear Esther. Given that achieving complete mental calm is at the centre of many people's minds these days, what could be a better holiday than exploring the physical representation of your inner psyche? I can't think of one. Get away from it all on this mysterious Hebridean island, which we cannot identify for legal reasons, so you'll have to wear this blindfold, but don't worry, it's perfectly legal, we promise, where you'll go on a scavenger hunt like no other. In order to provide you with an authentic experience, we will leave you in the middle of a cave system and allow you to make your own way out with a bit of safety gear and a candle to light your way, although you probably won't need it as the phosphorescent algae across the walls will help you see. Why not take a minute to admire the artwork scrawled across the rock faces and try not to think about who could have left it there as you traverse the system of tunnels and caverns leading you back out to the surface. Depending on whether you want some exposure therapy thrown in for good measure, the caves are either highly recommended or not recommended at all for anyone with claustrophobia. Panic attack inducing or not though, there's no denying that these caves are awe-inspiringly beautiful in their own way. Just be aware before travelling that this is truly a place to exercise both your physical and mental strength, as well as your sense of bladder control, because there's a lot of running water everywhere you go, and sorry, you're going to have to excuse me, I'm going to have to go, sorry. And that's our list, but have you found any secret video game escapes yourself? Please share them with the class in the comments below. You can follow myself and TripleJump on Twitter here, and if you want to support the things you enjoy, then check out the rewards on our Patreon. Finally, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. I've been Peter from TripleJump, and happy holidaying.